Hello, how you doing? Paul here. Today I am in Fitz Park in Keswick because today I am walking the Keswick to Threlkeld trail. It's a 5-kilometre trail, follows the route of the old railway line between here and Threlkeld. Very popular walking route. Let's go and check it out. First up, a bit of route finding. This area here, this is all Fitz Park, but if I turn round, this road here will take you into Keswick town centre. That road to Bell Close car park, where I've parked today. This road here is the road down to Windermere, but it's this road here that we're going to take up to the old station, because as I say, I'm going to do the Keswick to Threlkeld trail, 5 kilometres along the old railway line. It was a trail that's always been very popular, but was badly damaged during Storm Desmond and was completely rebuilt, refurbished with a couple of exciting new additions and reopened in 2020. Getting to the start of the trail, come up this way from Keswick and up here past the leisure centre. There are a couple of options for parking. You can park here at the leisure centre. There's a pay and display car park here. I've opted to pay and display, not pay and display really, but I've opted to park in the town centre because I've used the parking app, which means that if it takes me longer to walk than I think it does, I can always add an hour on through the app. But there are options. Obviously there's loads of car parks in Keswick, and there's a car park just here around the back of the leisure centre. Not much parking up at Threlkeld though, so if you want to park and walk, you're better off parking in Keswick and walking from here. As mentioned, there's the leisure centre car park, and a few more spaces up this way, and just here on the right hand side is Keswick railway station, or what's left of it. It's a hotel now. But this is the old station, the old platform. If you did want to pay and display up here at the hotel car park, which is just here, that's actually not an unreasonable price. It's £4 for 8 hours. I've just paid £5.90 for up to 3 hours, so there you go. But it's a pay and display, so you need coins. There's no there's no card machine on those pay and display machines. So this is the old platform. You can see that's the platform edge. The old railway station here at Keswick, and the walk that we're doing is down the old railway line, which means I've got to try and get off the platform down here, get back onto the line. And off we go. 5 kilometres to Threlkeld, just over 3 miles. Should take me about an hour. Now there's a couple of options when you get the other end. You can either turn around and walk back, or you can catch the X4 or the X5 bus, which comes 10 to the hour every hour, or at least it does in 2022. That'll cost you about £5 if you wanted to get the bus back. One of the first things you come to when you leave Keswick is this bridge that carries the A66 over the River Greta. Now, back before all the refurbishments following Storm Desmond, the path at this point used to go up and you used to have to cross the A66. But, and you can probably see it just there, during the refurbishments after Storm Desmond, an old railway tunnel was actually reopened. This tunnel was filled in when they built this road in the early 70s. But when the path was all refurbished after Storm Desmond, this tunnel was reopened. This is Bobbin Mill Tunnel. Let's go and have a look. Don't know if you can quite read that, but it says Greta Bridge voted the best concrete engineering structure of the century, September 1999. How about that? Now, I did not know that. The best concrete engineering structure of the century. Greta Bridge. Anyway, I'm getting distracted because it wasn't the bridge you came to look at, it was the tunnel. Here we go. Bobbin Mill Tunnel reopened 2020. Little information board here. You can see some pictures there of, or a picture, one there, one down here, of the work they did to reopen this tunnel. As you go in, there's like this metalwork bit here which is a little extension, but the actual original tunnel and all the brickwork is just here, look. And this is a busy path, but I'm in here by myself. This is quite extraordinary. Look at that, that's amazing. Quite extraordinary. Little cutouts there from somebody who's into railways will know what they were for. Another one over there. Pretty awesome. Another modern extension on this side of the tunnel. But look at that view back. That is amazing. Imagine that was just all covered in dirt, completely filled in. Wasn't even there until 2020 when they reopened it. Remarkable. And just outside the tunnel we've got this great walkway above the river. That is something else. There's like a little island there. See the little island? There's a little note here. It says, look downstream. Can you see the tunnel entrance? Queen Elizabeth I brought German miners, the experts of the day, to the Lake District to mine for silver, lead, graphite and copper. But I can't see anything. Does it mean downstream that way? Or downstream is, that's upstream, isn't it? This is downstream. Can't quite see anything. It must be hidden by the foliage maybe. I've spotted it. Can you see it there, just in the centre of the screen, the old mine entrance? Some little stools and places to sit here, look, just overlooking the river. That's a great little area. You can see the tunnel exit just there, Bobbin Mill Tunnel. It's a lovely pathway there, just overlooking the river. But onwards. And if you're wondering why it was Bobbin Mill Tunnel, it's because, of course, there used to be a bobbin mill here. It used to make 40 million bobbins a year. And it says here at the bottom that bobbins made here at Low Briery were used for making the coronation gown worn by Queen Elizabeth II. And there's an old picture there on the sign of the old bobbin mill. Another bridge over the river coming up here. Now in Storm Desmond there were 2 bridges completely destroyed and washed away. Others were refurbished. Not exactly sure which ones were which. This one looks pretty old. You look, it's like see the old girders from the old railway line, the old railway bridge. So this looks like an old bridge. So this is probably one that was refurbished rather than one of the new ones. But look at that! Wow, it's extraordinary. Handy little signs every so often telling you how far you've come. 2 kilometres so far. That means another 3 to go. So not quite halfway. Lots of great little information signs on the path. This one is about fishing, fly fishing. What's that say? 1/2 kilo of trout. Is that a lot? I don't know. I'm not a fisherman. Sounds a lot, doesn't it? One thing to know about this path is it is part of the coast to coast or sea to sea cycleway between Whitehaven, Workington and Tynemouth and Sunderland. So you will see a number of cycles coming up and down, especially in summer and especially at the weekend, so do be wary of that. Although with it being a cycleway, as you can see, it's a lovely smooth tarmac path, fairly level grade, not too many steep, in fact not really any steep bits, really just more gentle gradients. So it's a great path for walking. Now this looks like a replacement bridge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the new bridge, replacing one that washed away during the storm. One interesting thing about that bridge, it does mark the halfway point between Keswick and Threlkeld, 2.5 kilometres. Another new bridge coming up. There really are some lovely bridges over the river, and you can tell the old railway bridges that are left because of the steelwork. You can see being repaired. You can see the work done on the wall there, but still the old bones of the old railway bridge. Beautiful. That's the route back down to Keswick. This is the way onto Threlkeld. About 3.5 kilometres in now. Must be coming close to the A66. I can kind of hear the rumble of cars in the background over the river. But let's keep going. Just look at this tunnel through this rockwork. See that? The tree way up there. So you've got this rock, and then I've obviously blasted through and put this brickwork tunnel in. What's it like on the other side? Yeah, quite a steep cutting. That's a nice tunnel. And another bridge here. Now then, is this new or is this refurbished? This looks old to me. Yeah, this looks to be refurbished and repainted, yeah, because it's wider than the actual footpath. You can see the old girders there. So this is an old original bridge from the old railway days. Nicely refurbished and repainted. The last train to run along this line, 1972. It's like a little old, is that like a station hut or something there? Looks original. just past the 4 kilometre mark, so not far to go till we get to Threlkeld village. I think this is the last bridge coming up before we head into Threlkeld. Looks like another original as well, so take a little close look at that and see. Yeah, it's definitely an original. You can see it's wider than the actual footpath. Yes, definitely another original old railway bridge. And the last one before we get into Threlkeld, as we come up to what is the steepest part of this path, the steepest gradient anyway. Some zigzags to get us up level with the A66. Here we go. That actually looks a lot steeper than it is. When I've driven past here, because there's the A66, driven past here quite a few times, and that actually looks quite steep coming up there, but it's not as steep as it looks. It's actually a decent gradient. So that is the way back to Keswick, along by the River Greta, along the old railway line. But to finish the route, we have to get into the centre of Threlkeld, which is, according to the sign, 500 metres this way. And just as we get into Threlkeld, that's the end of the path. So it's onto the road till we get up into the village centre this way. And I've just looked at the time, and I think I said at the start of this video the buses go 10 to the hour every hour, and it's 11:52. So I'm guessing I've just missed the bus. Never mind. And there we have it, I've made it to Threlkeld. That walk has taken me an hour and 20 minutes. Now I've stopped a couple of times to do some filming, so I reckon about an hour and 10 if you're hoofing it, an hour and a half, an hour and 45 if you're dawdling. A great walk, nice level gradient, lovely tarmac surface, some fantastic views, a great bit of history to see along the route. Definitely well worth it. Now then, as I said before, you can either turn around when you get here and walk back, but I'm running out of time on my car park ticket, so I'm going to get the next bus. The only thing is I've just missed the last bus. There's an hour between buses. The bus I'm getting from here is going to get me to the car park at Keswick at 12:58. My car park ticket runs out 13:01. 3 minutes before the car park ticket runs out. I just hope it's on time and the traffic warden's running a bit late. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video. That was the Keswick to Threlkeld walk. Make sure you subscribe for more videos in and around Cumbria and the lakes. Until next time though, I'll see you in the next one. That'll do. Bye bye.